I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The mad scientist lab.
Well, I mean, I should have, but
that's getting cut. Go.
It's all right. We don't have to cut anything because we are live here with the 256th episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast featuring Jared Lee and RJ. And yeah, we're always here. We're always live. And
America.
For all
they don't need to know. If you're not watching visually, you don't need to know fucking anything.
I just wanted to say we got wood. All right. I just want to say we got some wood. And it's nice wood, by the way. And you should all always appreciate nice wood. And moving forward. Do you know what I did on Monday, Jared, when I went back to work after my little, time away? So I go into the shop, and I actually wanted to tell you, but I wanted to wait till the podcast today because I felt it would be more impactful to a degree. So I go speak to a certain technician of mine who's working on a vehicle, and there's a bunch of people in his bay, and they all have tears in their eyes. And I'm like, oh, my God, what's wrong? Something is terribly wrong. And I go over there, and they're like, RJ, it's your turn. And I was like, turn for what? So my technician, who's an awesome individual, turns around and he produces this little jar, this big. And you know what's in these jars, Jared? Carolina Reaper peppers. Okay. And I want to tell you, Jared, let me tell you something.
How's your butthole feel?
Dude, 3 days. All right.
Yeah, fuck that.
So I proceed to stand there because, one, I think somebody has died or something terrible has happened. And they're like, it's your turn. And, Jared, this pepper that was produced in front of me was probably, the size of a quarter. If that. It was a rounded red pepper marinating in some god-awful jar from God only knows where. And they were like, here, just eat one. Everybody's eating one. Like, half the shop ate them. And I was like,
everybody's doing it.
Yeah, so me doing the thing that you hate the most, being the sheep, I decided
follower ass
to eat this pepper. And as I started to produce this pepper into my mouth, no homo, it does sound weird when I say it like that. I'm so sorry. So as I started to eat the pepper, all right, let me not say produce because it sounds terrible. I would say within 3.5 seconds, I couldn't feel my face, my teeth, or pretty much half my body. And I started to sweat profusely. I'm white, so I turned very red. My eyes became bloodshot, like I was hanging out with Snoop Dogg for an afternoon.
And you motherfuckers are supposed to be working.
We did this on the clock. Okay, this was on the the whole fucking half my customers know now because I was laying out in the grass next to the used cars.
So why don't you do that on the show?
I actually don't mind.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again. I would only do half a pepper though, because I'm telling you, a whole one is not. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but I think
it will make a huge difference. A huge difference for the ratings.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I was able to tough it out, but it was tough.
You know what you could have used? Your coffee enema.
It's crazy. I still do have that. That's the thing. Don't bring it up because the rest of the world forgot, and so did I.
I didn't forget.
But regardless, so I eat this pepper. I'm literally visibly dying in front of my coworkers. So I have to go back up. So my first instinct, like a dumbass, and I know it's not going to help me, is obviously to get a bottle of water. It's only going to make it worse. So I walk over to the cooler at work where our technicians work. They have a water cooler back there. It's empty. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. There's one in the lobby. It's always filled. I go to the lobby, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like half choking, like I'm like dying. I go out into the lobby where customers are sitting. I'm over here sweating, looking like I smoked like 8 pounds of meth. And there's no fucking water in the cooler either. And that's when I realized I was fucked.
First of all, water is probably not the best thing.
If I would have had some milk or maybe even, peanut butter, I hear is apparently like.
That probably could do the trick.
And it wasn't even like my chest or my throat. It was just like, your mouth is still hot. So
water makes it worse.
It does. But, instinctual human reaction is like, oh, it's hot. Let me cool it down with water, right? And I knew I was doing the wrong thing, but that's the only thing I could do. Like, it's not like we keep milk cartons in the break room.
Why
not? Honestly, it's probably not a bad idea. The guys do like cereal.
I'm sure there's coffee creamer somewhere around. That's milk.
This is true. I would probably have to use like 20 cups for the amount of pain that I was in. But regardless, so I did obtain a bottle of water through a coworker. So I went out back of the shop, and I'm sitting there, and I'm chugging water, and I'm spitting it out, and I'm just like sweating profusely, and I'm like, man, why did I do this? And granted, nobody knows what I did. So one of my associates happens to come out back. He's looking for a car. He's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Because I looked like shit. And he said, oh my God, you ate a pepper, didn't you? And I was like, oh, so you guys ate them already? He said, no, I didn't eat that shit. And I was like, oh, fuck.
That would have been me.
And so as I was continuously spitting out water and not trying to die on a Monday afternoon, I realized two things. One, the pepper actually had a decent flavor to it, which is crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, that's why they use it for cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but God damn, dude, it is definitely. Me and Sean were talking about those hell burgers in Philly, which were super hot. This was definitely on par, or maybe just a tad step up. But holy Christ, dude! And so once I settled down and I was back to normal, and I wasn't, bloodshot red eyes, I said to myself, I'm gonna regret this in the morning. And I told my technician, I said, when I'm taking a shit tomorrow morning, I'm gonna text you, and I did. I had to sit there for an additional 10 minutes. While it alleviated itself from pain. But regardless, the deed is done, and I encourage anybody who's ever offered to eat a Carolina Reaper pepper to never do it.
Turn it down.
Yeah, don't eat it.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I don't mind, a little kick, a little hotness, but man, this stuff is painful. So I asked my technician, I said, dude, do you eat these? He said, no. He said, I actually grow them, and I sell them to people. He said, some people just simply like them, and I was like,
but some people use them for cooking too. Like you can roast them, or there's a couple different ways. What up, Epic?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Nice. Have fun at your fish fry.
Ooh, fish fry. That just sounds.
Is it salmon?
If it is, it sounds good, but it's not Jared's. It's not Jared's salmon though. So y'all.
I got some other salmon from Alaska. Like I got 2 cans of salmon from. It was like locally farmed.
Yeah.
Like not farmed from a farm, but like wild caught.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Blue eye socket. Bruh. I had that shit for breakfast the other day, so I had to empty the can, kind of broke it up a little bit, warmed it up a little bit in the microwave. Then I cut up a tomato, put some olive oil on the tomato and some salt, pepper, garlic powder.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounds like a really good tomato.
And
I would eat that tomato by itself.
That
dude.
was a great breakfast.
Yeah, dude. I would eat that tomato alone, dude.
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time, but I wanted a breakfast, like a well-balanced breakfast. I wanted protein and like a little bit of fiber, vegetables in there. Bro, that shit was so good.
Dude, fiber is so important. I don't really think people understand how important fiber is.
Probably the most important.
Yeah, and we get so involved in people eating.
You need to get
junk.
on Mucinex, by the way.
It's not bad, dude. Honestly,
no, I know, but it's supposed to help, especially with your gut biome, because people don't realize that your gut and your brain are connected. So
yeah,
like, the healthier your gut is, the more your brain works better.
Yeah, put it this way, you're right. If you're stressed out or anything, most people will say, "Hey, man, I got butterflies in my stomach," or like I feel whatever, nauseous or whatever the case may be. And
there's a little environment down there. You got to feed the good ones and get rid of the bad ones.
Yeah, and probiotics obviously are always really important. And even if you don't, because I used to for a long time, I haven't done so recently, but I'm a big fan of, as silly as it sounds, I'm a big fan of Activia yogurt. That's a great source of fiber.
Okay, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hey, first of all, it's Halloween, and she's allowed to be brought up, and so is her yogurt.
Say, but whatever.
I was just saying, but any source of fiber is always good. Do you know what I'm a big fan of that actually takes more calories to eat than it does to than you burn is celery. I'm just a big celery guy.
I like celery, but I'm not gonna sit there and just fucking eat it for hours. Like,
no. This is not. I'm not saying sit down and just be a
not
rabbit.
not even a meal, because there's no real benefit to celery.
No. I'm just
celery,
saying,
lettuce, like that's just fucking like iceberg lettuce, celery. That's just like water.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, and so I'm not so much.
There is some fiber in celery, at least, though.
I would say eating it maybe for like a small snack or with some sort of meal that you're having. I would never say just eat it as a whole meal.
Use it as flavor,
or something of that nature. But do you know what's crazy? When we used to go to Lucky's all the time,
All
Yeah,
the time.
all the time. R.I.P. By the way, we miss you dearly. It occurred to me over many years of indulging in adult beverages in the same watering hole that people would order their wings, whether they're dry rub, Old Bay, Buffalo barbecue, no matter. Nobody ever seemed to touch their celery. And I swear to God, the most free food I've gotten at any bar in my life is eating celery sticks because nobody ever fucking eats them, ever. I'd be like, hey, are you going to eat your celery? And they're going to be like, no. And I was like, here, give it to me. I'll eat it.
Usually, yeah, because usually when they're drinking, they want something that's going to fill their stomach. And I don't know if they're consciously trying to soak up the alcohol, but celery is not going to do it.
Oh, that I know, but it just always amazed me that a lot of people never seem to touch it.
Some people don't like celery.
And that's fine. My aunt, she's been a nurse for close to 30 years and is very advocate and big on health and what you consume. She hates celery. She will actually go into the grocery store and look through the ingredients on certain things to see if celery is actually in it in any capacity.
Oh, wow.
But I always found that kind of crazy because of how mature her stance on health is. And
yeah, but you can still be health conscious and not like a certain.
Oh yeah,
vegetable.
I know. But when I was younger, it's like, man, you don't let your kids really drink soda, this, and that, and it's like,
how many vegans or vegetarians do you think don't like broccoli? Like, because people just don't like broccoli for whatever reason. I don't know.
Dude, broccoli's great, bro.
I know.
It
actually has protein, and I think vitamin K maybe in it too. I can't remember.
Dude, broccoli's like super slept on, if I had to be honest with you.
Yeah, some people don't fuck with it because they consider it a hybrid.
Isn't it like man-made? Isn't
Yeah,
broccoli?
but a lot of the vegetables that we consume is man-made.
I understand that. I just felt like there was like a different process with broccoli.
Bananas are supposed to have seeds. Watermelons are supposed to have seeds. Everything that you consume that comes out of the ground should have a seed, like if it's a plant.
That's true. You know what's crazy is like when it came to bananas, I don't think I knew that. As crazy as that sounds.
If you look at the inside, like those little small dark things,
yeah,
originally those were like bigger seeds, but they had
that does make sense.
They had to get to have it actually be a fruit. Well, not a fruit, but to have it produce more like meat, I guess. They engineered it out of it, seeds out of it.
Oh, holy shit. I didn't know bananas had seeds. I feel like, oh my God, I feel like I learned something new. Yeah. I did. And so did all of you. Oh, maybe you guys didn't, but I didn't certainly fucking know.
I was going to say, I looked over and my name was spelled horribly. And
were you Gerard?
No. You spelled my last name wrong.
I don't even see how that's physically possible.
No, it's possible because everybody thinks that there's only one way to spell Lee, and then when they see the way that mine's spelled, it's fucking. They want to say Lay. It's like it's not Lay. It's
yeah, you're not a potato chip.
There's
company.
Plenty of other porn stars named Jennifer Lee or Jamie Lee.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee is
L-E-I.
No. Jamie Lee Curtis is L-E-E. I'm almost positive.
I think
certain porn stars, I don't know, because that is something we don't know about here on this show at all. And Jay Cutler went to jail today. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But there's Jay Cutler went to jail today. That's crazy. Disgruntled old quarterback.
He went to jail for what?
Well, apparently he got a DUI. I don't know if he's in jail now, but he got a DUI. He was like charged with the possession of a firearm and
Jennifer Jason Lee. Oh, he had a DUI. Well, yeah, that'll. Especially, you can't have a firearm and then be drinking and driving on top of that.
So Jennifer Jason Lee, American actress.
Oh,
actress. Excuse me.
You never heard of Jennifer Jason Lee?
Can you? I can't see her face. Could you enhance it a little bit? You know what's crazy? I do know who this woman is.
Fucking Back to the Future.
Yeah, I know exactly who this is. Okay, I didn't recognize the name. I mean, yeah, with that photo alone, I'm sorry I forgot. If that makes you feel any better.
She's hot too.
She is hot. She's very attractive.
Why the fuck is the screen not working?
It's collapsing on us, the internet.
Did I turn it off? What's going on here?
I don't know. But we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it, but I'm talking about through OBX.
So as Jared's kind of like sifting through that, just as a huge reminder to you guys, and hold on, I know Londa's not in the chat. Epic, thank you for joining us. So I did or at least I thought I did my due diligence this week, and I opened up my chat. Monday, after I got off of work. For the last couple days, I've had my chat open and nobody's talking to me. Then before we start the show, Jared's like, "You're not in your chat talking to people." And I'm like, WTF? What the fuck? I used to think it was the World, something foundation. I
WTF? No, what?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay. Okay, keep going.
But regardless, we are preparing. I am preparing for myself for next Friday night and next weekend, as we are going to be streaming Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the return of the Prestige Mode icon. I cannot wait to just dominate. It's probably going to take me a couple games.
Gay!
I'm going to do well.
That was me saying that, by the way. Why is this not fucking working? What's going on here?
I don't know. We're having some sort of technical difficulty to some degree. And
you can continue without
I
elaborating on what I'm doing.
Well, I like to watch what you do, so maybe one day I can learn it and maybe do my own podcast.
First, you got to use a fucking computer.
I know how to type. I don't know how to use a computer, but I can type. Put it that way.
Oh, this is weird. I guess we won't be using that today.
That's okay. That's all right. No worries. But I know that comedy is a big thing on the show. Comedy is probably the biggest aspect of the show, and not to be too devious in this manner. Our good buddy Jared Lee is heading down to the Lone Star State to go fucking work on his craft and whoop some ass.
I'm there right now.
And I know you're excited, dude. I'm going to tell you
By the time this comes out, I'm there.
So I want you guys to make sure you wish Jared Lee a big, big, big.
Well, there's no Kill Tony this week. Like, I fucking found that out late in the game. But I'm not, that's not the only reason I'm going. I'm going for the F1 race too.
So again, is that, I know you're going to be down there for a few days. Is that this weekend or is that earlier in the week? Because they're going around the Dallas Stadium, right? Or on that stretch, or because I saw something watching.
That's IndyCar. Oh, wait.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw, no shit. This past weekend, I did see between the Dallas game that was on TV, they were showing that a race is going to take place, and I didn't hear which one it was, but it's going to be around basically AT&T Stadium and the surrounding areas. So I thought maybe that was what you might be
going. It's not Formula One. No.
Okay. So then maybe it's something in the future that I'm not aware of. I don't know what brand of racing it's going to be.
I was going to say it's not Formula One. There's only 3 races in the United States now. Well, I mean, that's more than we've ever had before. Austin was the only one for a long time because it's a permanent track. The other 2 are Miami and Vegas. Vegas is next month. But those are tracks that are made, they're street tracks, so they're like they have to close streets down and fucking set up all the shit. But COTA, Circuit of the Americas, is a permanent racetrack.
Okay.
So like you can see it when you fly into Austin. You see it from the airplane. It's only like 40 minutes from the airport.
Okay.
But you can, when you fly in, you can see the track. Like,
what is it, like 3-4 miles? Is it a big track or?
It's a pretty long track.
Yeah.
It's I looked it up last time. It was like 3.46 or some shit.
Here, let me ask you this. Now that we're talking with a track of that length, say 3.5-4 miles, what is the average lap for an F1 racer on a track of that magnitude? I know some tracks are bigger and smaller. Is there like an average time?
Well, we can look up the average time.
Because I would think in a Formula One car, 3 to 4 miles isn't really shit, because you're probably hauling ass.
It's like a minute and some change, but it would take us much longer.
Oh yeah, dude, my little 2.4 liter, yeah, hitting fucking 60 in 4th gear, baby. Let's go.
Let's see what the times were today. Let's see. Sprint qualifying, those are pretty fast times. Results. So the fastest lap, well, does not say the fastest on here, but the person who got first or pole position in the sprint race tomorrow I'm not gonna go into the difference between sprint races and Grand Prix and all that shit because it's a lot.
Okay.
And if you don't understand the sport, that's not the place I want to start.
Oh, well, I mean, dude, if you were going to explain anything to anybody and you say this is not the best place to start, I would totally take your word for it.
The person who got pole position in Q3 or the last session of qualifying, he got 132.833.
All right. I mean, so you're talking about a good 90 seconds or so per lap. And please forgive me if you've addressed this before, but typically how long is the average F1 race in terms of circuit laps?
Hold on. It depends on the track. But they're anywhere from 52 to around 50-ish, somewhere between the 50s.
All right, so I think that's fair enough.
Because like this one this weekend is 56 laps. And it's the length is 5.513 kilometers. You can do the math in miles per hour on Google if you want. You have a phone. But I looked up, it's like 3.46 or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
And I've walked it like twice, at least twice. That was a fucking long-ass walk, too. Full race distance is 308.405 kilometers. And the lap record, wait, how does that the lap record when we just, that's in the race, actually, maybe. 1 minute and 36 seconds. Yep, and there's two straights. One straight, usually where I'm going to sit, is at the end of turn 12, where there's a speed trap. And it's a long-ass straight coming out of 11. And they're doing the fastest they probably will do the whole season.
When you say 11, is that like the
turn?
The turn for, like, it's verbiage for like a corner turn, so to speak?
Yeah, well, every time you turn, that's a turn.
That's a turn, so it's called an 11.
No, that turn is called 11, number 11.
Yeah.
So there's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In terms of, okay. I understand. I thought it was like verbiage that was used in the sense of like of how you're turning or just something like, hey, this is like a code 11 or something like that.
No.
Okay.
It's simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, the numerics, that's why we have them.
That's the thing about with this. It's a lot of numbers. It's about statistics. Maybe this is why I like it, or part of the reason I like it, because it's kind of like baseball. Like you look at a set of numbers or a data set, and you can kind of see, you can kind of predict the future by looking at the numbers, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that's when it comes to just any type of sports betting or potentially gambling process. I hate to throw that in there, but it does kind of help somebody make a sure bet or gives them confidence in what they're putting their money towards in that regard. I just can't bet, man. Like sports betting, anything like I just can't do it.
I don't want to waste my money on that shit.
Well, it's not even like, put it this way. There's
shit, Epic with the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Always
enjoy
very much.
your fish fry and your party, and don't get too drunk.
Yeah, don't get too drunk because then you're gonna wake up in a bush.
I know you're already there, but don't get too drunk.
Yeah, remember you got things to do. You're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, adult. But speaking of being an adult, the very adult thing to do is to represent yourself and your country with pride. And here in a few short weeks, we are going to be making a very difficult choice on who to elect to the Oval Office, the highest level of honor here in the United States of America. And I want to remind everybody
in the free world.
The free world. We can spell it here on the show. PHREE, free. And the first thing you should do is make sure that when you get your ballot and you have that moment when you know that you're going to make a difference, that you write in Jared Lee 2024. And I emphasize the 2024 because it's not today, it's not tomorrow, it's right now. You can get your official merch on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. Please check the link. It's always there for you. We've got shirts, hats, mugs, anything. If anything, the last thing we need, or if we do need, is an American flag with Jared's head on it. And I will attempt to make that happen. If that's a thing, please. But do the right thing. Don't vote for one. Don't vote for the other. Vote for the right one. Okay.
Just like Spike Lee, do the right thing.
Yeah, and he's and we would like to think he's a pretty well-established individual in that regards. Plus, he gets to go to free Knicks games, and who doesn't like? Well, I wouldn't say they're free, but
he definitely pays for those.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's like literally an honorary Knicks member, just as well as Jack Nicholson is a member of the Lakers, in my opinion. But that's okay. So do the right thing. Vote correctly, and you won't be disappointed because
I even wore my American flag today.
Oh, look at that. I like that. I like that a lot. Jared wearing the American flag. I don't think anything makes me really more proud, if I had to be honest with you, besides maybe.
What did you say?
Nothing. Well, my mom made these like little, you know what I do like, now that we're talking about being proud and stuff like that. So my mom's kind of currently going on a diet, which is fine, and she's doing a great job. But she, for the last couple weeks.
No more pizza!
Yeah, it's crazy. She's so upset about that. You have no idea. She can eat like 2 slices, and that's, but regardless.
That's a cheat day.
It is a cheat day. But she's been doing really well, and I've been encouraging her, and I'm eating fucking oatmeal with her, and I don't even really like oatmeal, but it's all right.
Oatmeal's amazing.
It's
you just gotta add the right. What flavors that you want to add to it is what makes it better.
Well, this is true. It wasn't bad, but I think what it was is I was almost intimidated by it at first because I haven't eaten oatmeal.
Not instant oatmeal.
No, we don't do that.
Shit has a shitload of fucking sugar in it.
No, my mom throws blueberries in hers and all this other stuff. I think initially I was intimidated by it because, dude, I honestly haven't eaten oatmeal since I was probably like 9.
I love oatmeal. I don't eat enough of it.
And she's been eating it every morning. I had a bowl with her the other day, and it wasn't bad. But at first, when I looked at the bowl, I was like, "Am I gonna like this?"
I heard somewhere recently that it's not really a health benefit to it.
Well, if anything, that I don't know, but I did eat some. It wasn't terrible. I liked it, but I'm like, kind of.
It will clean you out, though.
I mean, that's part of losing weight and all this stuff. But my mom's been buying these little, the red skin potatoes, like just little ones like this, like that big. And
those are really good.
They are exceptionally good.
Make mashed potatoes out of those.
So she's been boiling some, and she basically what she does is she'll boil them. She'll get like one of our dinner dishes and just put like a heap load, like maybe 12 of them or something in there for us to, all collectively eat. Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I could eat those little potatoes like fucking apples, bro.
Those aren't. You shouldn't be eating potatoes on a diet either.
Well, they're small ones. She's probably eating 2. I'm eating like fucking 5 or 6 because I'm fat. All right.
You still want to cut out the starch.
She's put it this way: when she
and
does
those,
eat
and
it,
those are carbs.
I do, but the only time she has eaten them, I will say this. Is when she does like our Sunday dinner with me and my sister. She only does it like once a week. So last Sunday she made some, and we had a whole bowl of them. My mom had 2, and then I was like, oh, so I ate 1, 2, and then it's like, all right. Then a half hour goes by, and I was like, hey, do we have more potatoes? There's still like 5 left in there, and I'm eating these things like little like plums. Like I'm just like, oh, here, potato.
Man is fucking having a conniption over fucking potatoes.
Dude, they're just really good, and I just feel like bite size. Like whether I'm not talking about like a tater tot or a French fry or chip, but I mean just a little nice boiled potato for you to throw some pepper on. Maybe put a tad bit of butter on there. I know it's not good.
Throw it in your mouth, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like me some French fried taters, and all that good stuff. So if you've got little potatoes, I encourage you to eat them every day. Well, not every day, but
I don't eat potatoes every day.
Yeah, but dude, I'm telling you, I know we've said it a million times on this show. Potatoes are probably the greatest thing on earth.
I've never said that before. I mean, they're good, but if you're on a diet, that's not what you want to be eating.
Well, she's slowly working on it, so I'm very proud of her, and I want to continue to encourage her. And even if that means I got to eat, weird stuff. I will say though, we did like how you stated. Saturday night is like pizza night in our house. Because my mom does Sunday dinner, so she doesn't like to cook Saturday. So she ordered herself that medium pizza last week, and you saw me trying to refrain from my fat ass from eating all of it. But she only had 2 slices out of all that, and I'm super proud of her. I'm really proud of her. So go mom. Go mom.
That's the first step is cutting down the intake. Because, yeah, you can eat all you, fucking, I don't want to say all you want, but, yeah, you got to change what you eat. The main thing that I think motherfuckers, they get lazy. I'm not saying this is your mom. But
Oh, yeah, of course.
People get lazy and they just start buying, like, shit. Are you okay?
Mhm.
He kept taking a sip every 2
Well,
seconds.
it's like the end of the can, so I just didn't want to, like, chug it all at one point.
Just fucking chug it, motherfucker. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying.
You're saying, well, people are being lazy and...
Oh, yeah, they just fucking buy processed fucking shit, like, because it's just the easiest thing to cook. Instead of just, if you don't eat processed shit, boxed stuff, bagged stuff, canned stuff, then you'll be all right.
Yeah, and if you do, I would say limit it, obviously.
I mean, every now and then, yeah. If you want to treat yourself, oh, you know what? I want a bag. I have a bag of chips, like a little small bag of chips. I bought probably like a week ago, and I still haven't cracked into it because I just
those. I'm telling you, chips are like my weakness, dude. Like I can go time.
Stop buying them.
I do. Well, the thing is I can easily go weeks without eating them, but there will be, like, when my mom does buy a bag, especially because, I'm a big jalapeno flavored chip guy or barbecue or, the outlandish flavors, the more flashy ones.
Yeah, because you like your butthole burning.
The Carolina Reaper
just
pepper
holla at
was
Diddy. He can help you out.
Well, that wasn't happening, and I'm not dead. Thank God. That was so crazy. You should have seen me. You would have laughed at me the whole time. It was awful. But I did it, and I lived. So, but when I get a bag of chips, what I try to do is I open it up, and I get a little bowl, and I put a couple chips in the bowl, and I try to limit.
You're fooling yourself.
I know. It's terrible.
Because all you're gonna do is keep going back. You know what? This bowl's empty. Let me put some more in.
Yeah, it sucks. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I'll give you 100% credit for that, because there's times or weeks where I won't eat any at all, and I'm cool. But dude, when I get my hands on them, and I'm like, oh man, I really like it. It is like almost the perfect, I don't want to say midnight snack, just a couple. I'm not saying eat the whole bag or anything, but maybe like 10 to 15 chips, if that makes any sense.
My shit is fucking Lay's Classics and ranch dip. I will fucking murder a bag of chips if I have the ranch dip too.
Oh, dude, ranch.
And I'm talking like you can't even get the fucking fingers in there anymore, and then
you're scooping the bottom and breaking the chip as you're doing it.
Well, that too, but then you have the fucking ranch from the lid from the edge on the inside on your fucking fingers.
Sounds like you need a bigger jar.
I mean,
maybe
you can only buy the jar so big
and whatnot. But you're right. Those little things are addictive, and I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's tried to consciously, my drinking aside, try to eat better, and pizza Saturdays, I really try. But man, when I get my hands on some chips, I'm like a fucking 8-year-old kid, dude. I hate it because I'm sitting there, and when I'm on like my 15th chip or whatever it is, I'm like, all right, I've had enough. Jared, I would literally wrap the bag up, clip it, put it back, and then like 45 minutes will go by and be like, man, maybe one more chip won't hurt. Like, it's tough. It's tough sometimes.
It's called discipline.
It is, and that's why I didn't eat the rest of those slices of pizza last week.
Now that's what happens for me when it comes to like a whiskey bottle, which is I'm gonna have to have Epic not bring me any whiskey anymore.
Well, dude, don't worry.
I didn't finish the bottle off.
Yeah,
with that little bird thing.
Yeah.
It's I've dipped into it a few nights this week.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it's for. You're supposed to enjoy it. So, but I think we both can agree that as time has passed, as long as we've done the show, that moderation and taking it easy is okay.
We used to get fucked,
dude. Isn't it crazy how trashed we used to get?
It was fun though.
We had a great time.
It made it for good fucking podcasting. I didn't like the way I like having to look back at myself.
Yeah,
being that way. I was like,
Yeah, it's pretty rough, dude. Because somebody was like, "Hey, why don't you come out?" I was like, "Well," I said, "I used to go out and drink about 4 bottles of beer." They're like, "Oh, that." They're like, "That's it." And I said, "Yeah, I'd probably take about 5 or 6 shots." I said, and I drink somebody else's beer. Then I'd go home. And they're like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I did that for like 10 years." I said, "Imagine doing that faithfully, dude." You know, we're getting older. Health is always very important. We're not trying to be little sissies and say don't go out and drink. But you
First of
do.
all,
You
I
gotta.
don't give a fuck what they think about what I do.
Well, I know that. We know that. But regardless, moderation is key with everything. But it's kind of crazy though, dude. I think of some of the.
As he cracks another fucking.
Well, I
alcohol.
mean, I'm hydrating and getting drunk at the same time as well. Although the downside to this is that in the last couple of days I felt a little bloated, so I'm gonna have to take a week or so.
On
off.
those?
Well, I mean, if I drink a few every day, I would feel at some point I would feel bloated. I mean, it's carbonated water.
You will just burp, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, I do, but I'm just saying. I actually burp a lot when I drink
It
these.
was probably those fucking that ghost pepper.
Dude, that ghost pepper was something fucking else, dude. I swear to God, dude. And you know what's crazy is that as much as I enjoyed the taste of it, as crazy as that sounds, it always comes to my mind. It's like, damn, who really goes out of their way to eat this? But you're right, you can cook with it. You don't have to actually eat it. But god damn, dude, that was a hot fucking pepper, bro. I don't encourage unless you know you can handle something like that. I encourage you not to do it or proceed with extreme caution.
There's TikTokers that will go on there and just fucking just.
Oh,
start
it's
eating those
funny
motherfuckers.
you said that. So I have a newer coworker at work. He's one of my evening time porters. Great guy. He said, "RJ, do you think this is real?" He showed me a TikTok earlier, and it was a guy, and I don't know if you've seen this because I know you're a little more avid on the app than me. It was a guy who's a famous TikToker. I don't know his name, but he said, "Hey, watch me drive into this McDonald's." And this guy literally got into his car and crashed it into the side of a McDonald's. He got arrested and everything. There was like a whole news article. I think it was like up in Boston or something.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but he was like, "Do you think this is real?" And at first, the way the video was cut, I was like, I was skeptical. But then they showed this motherfucker on the evening news getting arrested. I was like, "Oh no, that's very real."
For me, there's a couple things. There was another guy recently who crashed his McLaren, and what basically he crashed his McLaren, and then his fucking cameraman or whoever, his buddy, was in the car with him and bleeding, and this motherfucker's like, "Make sure you keep the camera rolling. Make sure you keep." So like all this fucking clout chasing, doing crazy shit just for fucking TikTok or YouTube or whatever. I don't even think YouTube will produce it. Kick will keep a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Twitch probably not, but Kick will let that shit ride. And they're paying handsomely for people who just do crazy shit. But that's a scary direction we're going when people will start, like, because kids are watching this shit and thinking, "Oh, you know what? This is kind of cool."
It's terrible because I watched the whole, I guess, news article that he presented to me with this, and my first thought was like, "What a fucking idiot!" And I'm thinking, okay, well, this
There's
guy,
a lot of them out there. that
Yeah,
do
I was
this
like,
shit.
well, what a dumbass. First of all, this guy's probably in his early 20s, if I had to guess, so still trying to become an adult, and I just it's hard for me sometimes to wrap my. I would never think in a million years, hey, let me just crash my fucking car into a building so people can be like, "Are you okay?" Like, what the fuck?
No, it's not for that. It's for the views. That's all it was for.
It's for that dopamine hit that you always kind of.
No, it's for the views. It's because they get paid off of those views.
So you said
Like what TikTok is like. I think it's once you get to 10,000 followers, and you have to have the video has to be a minute long, at least, and something else. And then once you get to a certain point and it goes viral, that's what it is. They're looking for that viral moment because they get paid off of that. And some TikTokers get paid a fuckload of money.
So let me ask you
Streamers get paid a fuckload of money if they're fucking popular.
So let me ask you this. In this scenario where this gentleman did this and he does, spike in viewership because of it, is he still going to get paid for that because he committed an illegal act to a degree? I wouldn't say it's an illegal act.
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know the rules for every specific social media platform. You're probably not going to get away with that on YouTube. You're probably not going to get away with it on Twitch. TikTok is pretty stringent on their terms and conditions. But, like I said, Kick is a different beast. The people who are the owners of it aren't the best human beings.
Yeah, well, I could see, unfortunately.
And they allow a lot of stuff. And some of these people that you're seeing are Kick streamers. Because, like, those are the people who either got booted from Twitch or just found Kick and like, you know what, fuck it, I could do whatever I want over here.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is that. But then what happens is that moment happens on Kick, but they still record it, and then maybe somebody else picks it up, say TMZ or whoever, somebody. So it just gives it more boost, which then people start going back to their channel. So then once they get out of jail or whatever the fuck happened, guess what? They're doing more videos, and now they have a bunch more followers and a bunch more subscribers, and all. You know what I'm saying? So they're just making more money.
You're right. It's really a terrible direction because the last thing, the older we get, the more I am actually very grateful.
I'm saying we.
First of all,
the older you get,
the older because you're.
I'm getting better, baby.
Yeah, I'm getting better still. Anyway, I've always been very thankful for some of the well-grounded adult figures we had in our life growing up. Hear me out. I just mean from the aspect of like maybe a teacher or just an adult outside the family. I just feel like we kind of grew up at the right time with the last. I don't want to say a little bit of hope, like because I'm like that's doing too much. But
but these aren't.
It's not the end of days. I'm not saying that. Yeah, that's not what I'm getting at.
That's what you're making. These are few and far between. You just happen to see this guy on, like, he's not the majority of everybody, but there are people who are just out there that, there was a story a few years ago, I think it was, they were trying to do it for YouTube, where this guy had his girlfriend shoot him. I think we were doing a podcast when this happened. This dude had his girlfriend shoot him because he had a telephone book like on his chest or taped to him or however he had it on there, and he didn't think that the bullet was gonna go through. Fucking bullet went through, killed his ass.
It's a bullet. Yeah.
It's still a bullet. If it's a 22 and it's point blank, that's just going through, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of force. I mean, gunpowder. I mean, the term "bang" comes to mind.
Okay. That's what guns make.
Yeah, but I'm
bangs.
saying if you have like the thickest 1-800-collect phone book all attached to you, if that shit is close enough to you, I mean. There's really not a whole lot stopping it. I mean, it's only paper.
Even if you saw that in a movie, first of all, I'm gonna test the theory first. I'm gonna shoot a phone book
before I shoot
I shoot it at myself.
I think that's a very logical explanation.
Even when they do shit for movies, they always test these stunts before they do the fucking real stunt. They don't just go out there and say, "Hey, Tom, just fucking jump off of this fucking thing." They're doing the math. They're doing distance and fucking, all right, if you go this speed and blah, blah, blah. They're doing all this shit before. This is engineering. This is physics. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is people's lives on the line before you can just go out there and start doing shit for the fucking gram.
I mean, I think a lot of people don't take into consideration because the whole thing I think I take from the world we live in now is everybody obviously kind of lives in the moment, which is completely fine. I get it. You live one life. But at the same time, depending on what you're doing, I sometimes don't feel people think about repercussions to a degree.
They don't think far enough ahead. Like, again, this is what I say when I tell you, like, you don't, the shit's chess, not checkers. You got to think moves ahead, even when you're planning your day. all right, you don't think about what the immediate thing I have to do is. You got to plan out how much time it's going to take to do said first thing, because you know you have to do something later, and then you have to plan out the time it's going to take to do. So if I do this and it takes me 45 minutes, blah blah blah, then it's going to take me 15 minutes to get there. And so you know what I'm saying? Like you got to. That's also the same thing as when like okay, I want to do this stunt. I want to try to have my girlfriend shoot me with a fucking phone book.
All right.
Do I just think of like her shooting me and I'm assuming it's not going to go through? Or am I going to, like I said, get multiple phone books and figure out how many, like what caliber, what fucking, like how far did it go through? How far was she away from me? Is she going to be able to aim if I need her to be 10 feet away? Is she going to be able to hit without hitting me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put it this way. When you're doing an experiment, sometimes it's always good to test your theory before you put it out to the general public. I mean, that's how medicine works.
Yeah, I said that before, but I was more talking about him not thinking far enough ahead to realize that he was going to get offed.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it sucks because we obviously know that obviously wasn't his intention or anybody's at that point. But to sit around and conjure up the most outlandish idea like that, I mean, it takes a special individual to that degree, in that sense. And I'm not knocking anybody for it. Put it this way: if me and Jared had a great idea, obviously we like to think a little more logically about it. But if we were going to do some outlandish stunt, luckily I have this guy here to say, hey, let's just not do this. And let's do it this way, because knowing my ass, just like with the fucking Carolina Reaper pepper, which I advise nobody to eat, you just don't go fucking full send immediately. Sometimes you have to take a step back, evaluate your situation, and then proceed forward. It's the most logical thing to do.
Take a step back. Who do you see? Somebody help me. You don't know nothing about that.
I do like your singing voice, and I think you should do it more often.
That was Go-Go.
Hey, man, you sent her in here with them titties. What you expect?
Yeah, like that one time I went. Man, that was fucking crazy, dude. I've never been back, but it was kind of cool. I was only there for like an hour and a half, but good Lord. I went to a go-go like when I was like younger.
Hour and a half is long.
Well, in any place when you're young is long, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing there, and I didn't really felt like I belonged there.
Oh, yeah. I've been to go-go's and not felt like I belonged there either.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the nerdiest dude in this room.
You know what's crazy is everybody I ran into was like super cool and super chill, so I actually had a pretty good time, but I think the only reason I didn't go back, it's not because I don't like go-go, because some go-go's actually I fuck with.
There's just always too many fights. It's like fucking going to a mosh pit or something.
Yeah, no, there's just a lot of
Do they still have go-go?
Honestly, dude, I haven't heard of anybody. You know what? I don't think so.
They have to.
Well, maybe on a smaller scale. I mean, it's not like it was 20 years
it was
ago.
always small.
I would say at least I would say from 2005 to 2010. At least for me, I know you're a little older than me.
I was gonna say, like, no, that's.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you a song
around forever.
I just sang you a song from the '90s.
I get it. I know Go-Go's, but that's when it became prominent to me. To me, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it was kind of still very much thriving
now
at
that
that
I think
point
about
in
it,
time as
they
well.
do still have them because my cousin, it's moved. It's gotten its way down to Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah.
I like that. I really do.
My cousin, he's done a few AV sessions for a couple of those. But yeah, it's still around.
Yeah, no, dude, go-go is dope. I know some people might consider it noise, but some go-go is really dope, bro. Like
you could consider any fucking music noise.
Exactly. So they're like, oh, I like go-go.
Country music is noise to me.
I remember. Well, it depends.
No.
It depends on. Well, for me, like, I'm not a country music guy at all.
Go ahead, pull his dick and put it in your mouth.
I'm not putting anybody's dick in my mouth. That would be weird, and that would be gay.
You're about to say it, but go ahead.
No. What I was going to say is that I've just kind of learned to appreciate some types of that genre. Yeah. But I think the same could go with people when they view go-go because it's not a nationally known thing. It's a very
niche.
Yeah.
It's a niche thing.
And so when I used to tell people about it, especially some of my Xbox buddies.
California people hate it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a sound of the city, and if you don't know what it is, and you're not going to rock with it. At least to me.
I think you have to. If you are in DC and you hear it, then it's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, dude, Go-Go is dope, dude.
You can't see. First of all, Go-Go is not the type of music that you fucking. They have done some recordings and like studio sessions, but that's not that type of music. It's like listening to jazz on a fucking like a studio jazz album. Like, that's not what jazz is either. It's meant to be live.
Yeah.
And a lot of music is meant to be live because they're artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, the studio shit is cool, but yeah, those are people playing instruments, and you should be there to feel the vibration. Like that's some shit that goes.
The whole mood.
Yeah, it goes into your body. You know what I'm saying? That's like an energy. Like everything's frequencies and energy, and live music is the best way to experience those things.
Especially something as pivotal as Go-Go, and for those that don't know, Go-Go is a big, and I will go as far as saying a genre of music here in the DMV area.
You mean go as far as to say?
It is a genre of music.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you were like, I would even go as far as to say that it is a genre.
I'm just saying that for people who might not know what it is. It's in that respect.
Then in that case, then it's a genre of music that is from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, so if you don't know what Go-Go is, check it out and tell us if you guys like it. And if you don't, we're not gonna be upset or anything like that. But it is a certain sound of the city that is very prominent in the DMV area. I mean, you don't really know too many people, whatever background they come from, who don't know what Go-Go music is to a degree. At least I would think so. And I'm sure there are some people who are naive to it in that sense. But for a vast majority, everybody knows at least one Go-Go band. They know at least a song. They're like, oh, I don't like Go-Go, but I like this song. Or I don't know Go-Go, but I like this song. And I think that's more than enough for something that was kind of created in just the general area for the most part. I think it's really cool. And to see that it's down in Atlanta and kind of moving around.
It's probably other places. I'm just telling you that I know for sure that's moved to Atlanta a few times.
Now when you say California doesn't like it, is there any reason?
No, I would play it, or people that I would interact with when I lived out there that they would have come here and they may not like it or whatever. And it is what it is. Like, it's too far away for people to get it. I remember. One time we went to this like backyard house party, and I had my Avericks on. I had just got back from leave.
So you're like out and about, so you're feeling good.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, yeah. My buddy he had family in Anaheim, and so we used to hang out with them, and then so we would there's just party going on over here, and this was around Christmas time. I had just got back from leave, or maybe Thanksgiving, whatever. So it was cold outside, and I came back and bought my new Avericks. I had I think I still have it somewhere, all black Avericks. If you don't know what an Avericks jacket, look it up. My shit was all black. Yeah. Even the letters on the back was black. You know, I fuck with black. Those are my colors. But I had and my fucking. I was looking like I was coming out of a Wu-Tang video or something.
I mean, dude, that was the style, dude. I think a lot of people forget that too.
I remember we went to this party and this chick, she was fucking hot too, and she was like, "You're straight East Coast, huh?"
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Like it didn't register in my mind that they don't dress like we dress.
Yeah, no, it's completely different demographic. Yeah.
And so they picked it out, right? Because I had Timbs on, the whole fucking 9 yards. And it was just weird that she put that out there. And I was just like, yeah, well, that's where I'm from. I'm from the East Coast, and I love hip hop. And she was like, oh, that's cool.
Well, especially back in the early 90s or late 90s, and especially early 2000s when it was, you know, I don't want to say the East Coast versus West Coast things, but the styles are very different. If you're a fan of hip hop in general, if you know the sound of those styles of rappers or MCs, and just the culture that goes behind it. And the one thing I've always really appreciated about hip hop in general is, and you know who I don't want to say taught me this, but the view that I think I admire the most, I would say, is from Nas. And Nas was like, "Hey man, you know, hip hop is really not really about music. It's about culture. It is about the big gold chains. It is about the, you know."
Nas didn't say that.
Yeah, you did, dude. I wouldn't make this up.
No, I didn't say. Okay, he may have said it, but he's not the only one who said it.
Oh no, I know, but this is the first time for me.
That's the whole point of what Kendrick Lamar's song "Not Like Us" is.
No, I understand that. I do, but
People have been saying that for years. KRS-One's been saying that. Like Nas was just echoing what all hip hop, the culture has been saying from the jump.
No, of course, but I think for the age I was at the time, and for him to say that, I think it resonated more with me, obviously, because KRS-One is a little before my time, just a little bit.
If you're a real studier of hip hop, you would watch documentaries. You would be seeing him talk about stuff, and how they talk about like Slick Rick and Marley Marl, or whatever. I can't even talk right now. Shit is all up in here.
Yeah.
All of them, man. Like real hip hop fucking people fucking know the history.
No, and I agree with that 100%. But I think for just the age I was at the time, Nas was still putting out music. He was still
he's still putting out music,
and he still is. And I think when he was,
but you don't listen because you don't listen to new shit.
I actually listened to a lot of Nas. Actually, I think one of his best songs that he made in the last 10 years is called "Surviving the Times," and the beat was made by Chris Webber, who used to play basketball.
He's been a rapper for a minute.
So
when he was playing ball, he was rapping.
Yeah, and he made this dope ass beat for Nas, and Nas has this incredible song that's just like an extra.
Which album was it on it?
This was on his the Untitled album, the one where he was, the N-word album where he couldn't call it the N-word.
Well,
or the album
that's
after.
a long time ago. Then.
Yeah, but the
song. No, I'm talking about like the last few.
Oh, the last few years?
3 years.
Yeah, no, he's put out great music. King's Disease? Yeah, absolutely.
You've listened to it?
Yes, of course, dude. I'm a Nas fan, dude.
Okay.
Besides,
because I remember you told me at one point you don't listen to new music.
I don't. When I say new music, I think I'm more inclined to say newer artists.
I don't know. I fuck with 21 Savage.
Do you know who I just recently found out I like a lot? Is X? I think his name is X the Plug. He's this big, heavy dude from Texas, bro. But he's got some fucking super random bangers that my guys are playing in the shop.
Not the Mexican dude. Right?
No, it's a big black guy. I mean, he's like Biggie, dude. I mean, he's huge. But dude, this guy can fucking go. And they were playing something in the shop, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And they're like, "Oh, this is so and so." I was like, "I don't know what that is."
Is it like the Texas vibe?
Oh yeah, dude. You would put it this way: he's got like this pretty short track. I think it came off a mixtape. I think it's called "Lost in Love." It's like less than 3 minutes long. It fucking bangs, dude. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? It takes a lot for me to be like thoroughly impressed just by the sound of something. But I was like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing. So I've been like looking into his music a little bit, and this guy's got some bangers, but he's a big guy, Jared. I mean, he's huge. Not to like discredit him or anything of that nature. But that song,
Big X.
There we go. But he's got something. It's just got a super knocking beat, and he just goes off on it. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. I like stuff like this. And I'm not saying other people don't do things like that. I just happen to catch whiff of this. Put it this way: if I didn't hear it, I wouldn't know. But it was something I was like, oh, I actually really like this.
Well, now I'm gonna check it out on the way home. Because I like Texas. I like hip hop from everywhere for the most part. Like I don't fuck with commercial shit like that. There's some commercial, like Killer Mike's album, pretty commercial, but it was also a musical masterpiece. But for the most part, I love West Coast music. Like when Pac and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre was out.
Oh, dude, G-Funk or anything of that nature, or even just that hardcore West Coast.
G-Funk era.
Dude, I'm even it took me a little while as I got older, I wasn't a huge fan of his at first, but
Who?
believe it or not, E40, dude.
He's still-
his style is a little different, but I understand his importance in the Bay Area. But what it taught me was the sound of music. Just like when people compare, you're talking about California, people talk about go-go. Like, I love West Coast music, and everybody's like, E40 is the truth. And then it took me a while for him to grow on me, but then I realized that his style is different and it's unique, and it's specific for that. I mean, the guy is...
It's for the area that he's from.
Yeah, and so that I can appreciate that aspect of it.
I like Houston shit. Mostly Houston. I haven't really heard nothing outside of Houston, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but like Slim Thug, Paul Wall.
Thugger.
I think I just heard something with Paul Wall recently.
He still does makes appearances. I don't know if he puts music out, but I mean, it's cool to see.
It was a song with somebody that I heard recently. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, that's fucking different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then you got the Louisiana tip. Like No Limit. No Limit took me a while to it grew on. At first, I was like, I'm hardcore East Coast because that was during the time of like East Coast music. East Coast hip hop was fucking murdering everything.
I mean, if you think about, put it this way, within a 5-year span, it might actually be a little less. You had the release of Illmatic, Ready to Die, 36 Chambers, okay, Reasonable Doubt, and then give me a fifth one. Hold on. I mean, those four alone right there are
Mobb Deep.
And then the infamous that's, I would say, from 93 to 98, or maybe even a little less, is when all 5 of those albums came out. Some of those albums came out within the same year.
And even in between it, there's more than that because Wu-Tang Forever came out in 97.
Yeah, and so you're talking about a very big crunch time of...
They were popping stuff out once a year at that point.
And it's not like that anymore.
No, and then you had...
Ready to Die came out in that time frame as well. Yeah. Or no, excuse me, Life After Death, excuse me. Even after Biggie died.
That was 97 also. And then you had Rough Riders, DMX.
You got Jadakiss,
you
the
got
Locks.
Method Man, Redman, with their 2 albums together and their own solo shit. Because don't forget Takal. Yeah, man. It was
ODB. Return of 36 Chambers. I mean, you got dude, half the Wu-Tang put out solo albums. You got Iron Man by Ghostface. I mean, you're talking about
Raekwon, the Purple Tape.
Yeah, the Purple Tape, only built for Cuban links. But regardless, here, talk to the folks.
Actually, I need to you got to pee.
I do. Here. Give me like 10 seconds. I'll bring it.
It's not 10 seconds when you got to fucking go pee, you fucking weirdo.
Here, tell them how you're the best president.
I am the best president of the United States. And I don't know why. If you haven't voted yet, you have not voted for Jared Lee. The early voting is out. So you can go ahead and take care of that I think you can do it at the post office, as a matter of fact. We need changes in this country. We need funny people in the White House. I'm going to have at least 3 funny-ass comedians in my cabinet. Actually, I already have one as a Department of Education. I'm not going to announce that quite yet. Because we got to win the election first, obviously. But we're gonna get some Department of Defense. Can you imagine who that would be? This fucking guy had to take a piss in the middle of the fucking. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking pour me some Kesslers into this can. Let's see if I can do it without pouring it in my own lap. How about that? Because I've been eyeing this Kesslers, and there's no fucking cups down here. Because my presidential campaign cups are not here. They're upstairs. Oh, it's working. I probably poured too much already. Oh, that's a lot. Ain't that much. Next week when I come back, probably Thursday or Friday, I will be streaming some GTA RP. My buddy Big Dave has gotten into it, and he's fucking hooked. He's been staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning, playing whatever his character is, and I've just been busy this week. I did play with him one time earlier this week, and then I got busy. I had a bunch of comedy spots that I had to hit. Then I had I'm good. And then what else did I? Oh, and then jiu-jitsu, of course. I was just telling them that
Yeah, I'm back. I am back, folks. Sorry about that.
I was just telling them that Big Dave has gotten into GTA RP and he's fucking hooked.
Oh, Big Dave.
He's been playing till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
You know why I love Dave? Because Dave is probably one of the most solid individuals I've ever met. Because as long as I've known that man, when that motherfucker, put it this way, when I'm like, Dave is just like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. And
I mean, I don't know what that means. Like, he is his own individual. Yeah, I agree with you there.
So I think that's
similar to me.
Well, yes, I just feel like I've always respected his the discipline. That
I would not say he has self-discipline.
Well,
He has definitely gotten better. Obviously, you can tell by the dramatic loss in weight.
and we're so happy for you, brother. By the way,
But
he's
he's definitely not been always a man of discipline.
that's all right. I mean, you got to.
I've known that man for a long time.
That's all right. Sometimes you got to live and you learn. You know,
at least fucking maybe close to 30 years at this point.
I didn't. Well, I mean, he's family, so I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize you have known him that
Well,
long.
I knew his cousin. You met Tony. You've been on the show before. I met his cousin that was my second job when I worked at Giant, and me and him became friends like since then. And I used to go to their grandparents' house, eat dinner and fucking watch football and all that. And that's when I met Dave and them, his other cousins.
I got you.
And Dave's brother.
I had no idea you had known him that long.
Long time,
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was a
I
while.
I was at least 16. It's close to it's coming up on close to 30 years.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Dude, shout out to Not So Big Dave. All right.
Yeah.
But I think it's dope that he's hooked on it because
No, when I say he's hooked on it, he's been playing more than me. I've been busy. That's what I'm telling them.
Yeah.
I've been busy as fuck this week because I had 4 spots basically, and then try to fit jiu-jitsu in somewhere. Because I had the Tuesday show. What did I do Monday?
Hopefully not much because it was Monday, but
I don't remember what I did on Monday, to be honest.
well, sounds like a good day. Yeah.
Remember what I did? No, it wasn't. No, what the fuck did I do on Monday?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I ate that pepper.
And
Don't do
then
that.
Tuesday, you know what? I think Monday I may have still been slightly sick, but then I had No, I don't know what the fuck I did. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I've had a busy week, so I did stay home because I played. That's when I played the first time with him on the server of GTA RP. We were walking around. We were getting to know people, and he's been on and learning more shit. So I've been trying to get back on, but then now I'm gonna be out of town till next week. So I won't be able to. Actually, I'm thinking of taking my computer anyway, so I might still be able to play with him.
No, I think it's cool that he's really gotten into it because I think the way I've always viewed. I found a really cool meme I wanted to show you. I have to look for it. But it's like, oh, a man of your stature and all this time, all you're doing is playing video games, and the guy's like, yeah, it's good life. When you get into something that is therapeutic for you, because that's what I always am gonna boil gaming time down to.
I don't even think it's therapeutic. It's just what we're doing is it's fun because there's so much to do, and you're also playing You're not playing. We're basically playing gangsters, but I thought about this the other day. We're like basically electronic puppeteers because we're using the keyboard to do all these movements and then talking to people, and like you might not be using your regular voice. You're definitely not using your normal conversating tone.
Yeah.
Like, because my guy kind of has a raspy voice.
Yeah.
So and he talks like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Blah, what's going on, cuz? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it is something that allows you to expand on your, not only are you
Creativity.
playing your creativity, which I think is cool, because put it this way, a lot of everyday people like me and you and Dave and just anybody in general.
don't book me into whatever you're about to book me.
I try not to, but it's so hard sometimes, I promise you.
Go ahead.
No, but I think a lot of us don't have that outlet that we always really need in that regard. And I think,
I don't know why you put me into that.
Because
I got plenty of outlets.
Well, this is one of them.
I've got too many outlets.
And you do it with me. So, like.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about this.
Yeah,
one.
all right.
I was thinking about comedy, jiu-jitsu, and RP, and now this.
Do the podcast. And my mom, and I've said this before, but every Saturday before you come over, dude, I stop doing whatever I'm doing. No bullshit. You don't get here till 6:30ish, around that time.
Yeah, when you send me the text at 5 o'clock, I'm ready. I'm like, hey, bro, you're lucky if I'm out of the bed at 5
Dude,
o'clock.
well, you're going to have to put a little pep in your step. Because the reason I say that is because around 3:30, 4 o'clock, as crazy as it sounds, I know that I have about 2.5 hours till you get here. But I also know I got to take a shower. I typically like to take 30 minutes or so to decompress, so I can just make sure I'm as available, for the podcast, if that makes any sense, and be prepared for it. I will.
But I think you talk more when you just got off of work. And
dude, I talk all day. That's my job.
But that's what I'm saying. But then when you decompress, I feel like there's something less there, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think what it is that just with my job, because I do have to interact with a ton of people throughout the week. I think the first couple hours of my Saturday, I realize I don't have to do that, and it's nice. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind talking to people, but I also know that in order to produce, at least a show that's worthy of listening to or even watching, if you check us out on YouTube, I still want to be in the same mind space. I still want to be up and prompt. So I do have to take a couple minutes or whatever it is to decompress from the work week. Like, all right, I'm not at work. We're going to talk about, this and that and see where it goes, or so-and-so is coming over. So I just always like to mentally prepare myself in that regard. That way it's not bad for me or you. And sometimes it might not work out that way. I know there's some times where me and you are both, it's been a long week. It's like, oh, we got to do a podcast, but we're going to do it anyway. I don't want us to ever
I don't really get annoyed about having to do them.
No, I'm not annoyed by it either in any capacity. I think what it is when I exasperate a lot of energy throughout the week, especially at my job, and then maybe it was like a slow week in entertainment for like TV shows or
there's no
even,
slow weeks in entertainment.
Exactly. It depends, like you say, what you look at and what you look for. But I always want to make sure that I at least come as correct as I can.
Speaking of that, let's transition to the entertainment beaker.
Because it's container of
finger,
entertainment. There we go.
Your finger was a little high, but
I didn't mean to do it. Here, right here. Here's my finger.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cough into the thing.
That's all right.
I know you haven't been watching this, but I think people are sleeping on Agatha all along.
So I watched the first 2 episodes. All right.
Okay.
All right. So because I knew, obviously, other than the Penguin, that was something we talked about last week. So I made it kind of my goal the last few nights, because I've been super heavy on Diablo, like a fat guy. I was like, there's a lot of important TV that I need to make sure, because we're doing the show on a Friday night.
There's really only 2 shows. Although I heard that the show I need to check that out. I'm about to check that out next after I'm finished with a couple of other things.
So I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yep.
I do like it. I think it's actually very intriguing. and I like to see where it's going. I also watched.
There's 6 episodes. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm diving into currently.
I'm telling you, you're in for a fucking storm.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. So I'm getting up to speed.
It's not being talked about enough.
It's
the
not.
show is fucking good.
And I also watched up to the 3rd episode of Slow Horses with Gary Oldman.
Oh my god,
that's
fucking behind.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do a lot in a little bit of time.
No, I know. First of all, no, don't say a lot. We all have the same 24 hours.
Regardless, if everybody knows Jared is a dickhead, it's all right. So
hold on, what the fuck? Or is Jared just a realist?
Maybe he is.
Maybe somebody else out there needs to hear that. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What you choose to do with it, I don't know. Are you going to like yourself 10 years from now when you said I could have done that thing? You're going to like yourself 5 years from now when you said I could have done that thing. You're going to like yourself when you're in that bed and you're about to go see whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. Are you going to be like, I should have done that thing? I think, hey, some stuff to think about. That's why you should vote for me, Jared Lee, for president 2024.
2024. It's very important.
Even though I did do that plug at the end, I'm dead serious about what I just said.
Yeah. What do you do with your 24 hours in a day?
RJ, what do you do? Do you make excuses or do you do things? Mm-hmm. Don't worry. They just watched me pour Kesslers into this can so I could.
That's all right. Well, shit, I would have got you a glass.
Nah, it was too late.
They gave me these little bottles of Honey Jack at work.
These little what?
These little bottles.
Yeah, don't plug who it is.
Yeah, these little bottles of
some kind of drink
of adult beverage.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, no. It's actually the first one I've had in months. I'm actually very much enjoying it. But I think what's being overshadowed, since we're talking about entertainment, I think what's overshadowing a lot of things right now, or maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm just a crazy old man who likes to eat potatoes and bread.
You're not old. Shut up.
Potatoes and bread. But do you know what's really fucking cool, Jared? Is the Penguin.
Penguin's fire.
So I think for anybody who has been watching the show,
there's people who've been hating on this show, bro.
I think people who hate on the show like to. I don't think they like to wipe their ass after they poop. Is what I think. I think they like to walk around.
You know the craziest part. You know the craziest
in
part.
Their underwear.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
The craziest part is there was a picture of Sophia and it was the clip of when she was like, "Wake up, get dressed, Johnny."
Yeah. And
it was HBO from HBO, right? And then I was like, let me look at the comments because I've heard people saying, "Oh, the Penguin sucks. The Penguin sucks." Like at the beginning. Well, then I went into the comments, and after this last episode that just came out, bro, anybody who said anything like bad, they were like, "This show is the worst show." Motherfuckers like, horribly bad take, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Type shit.
Well, they deserve it because, oh my god, dude, like. So I know you messaged me the other day, like, "Hey, the new episode is crazy," and I hadn't had a chance to watch. So last night I was like, "All right," because I've been enjoying the show thus far, and I was like, "All right, if Jared's saying, hey, this is crazy, it's got to be pretty good," and so I watched it, and I realized that has to be up there in maybe the last 10 years of probably one of the best TV episodes ever. Period.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy when I fucking have these things in my head, bro. And I was watching that shit and I was like, what the fuck? Everything is good. Everything.
Yeah.
The lighting, the fucking camera angles, cinematography, whatever you want to fucking call it. Obviously the makeup, because Colin Farrell does not look like Colin Farrell ever.
Nor does he sound like Colin Farrell.
Nor did he had a dialect coach. I saw that clip. He had a dialect coach for that.
This show's going to win. If this show doesn't win,
if you've ever heard Colin, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard Colin Farrell as Colin Farrell, and then you hear him play the fucking Penguin,
Oswald
Cobblepot,
yeah.
it's like this is not the same fucking guy, bro.
It's crazy how good he is at
And
it.
then Sophia, at first I was like, she's kind of cute. But then as she fucking starts to, you start to realize, oh no, she's not crazy. She's fucking hot.
Yeah, dude. And that's how you know a show is good, because this whole episode
It's making you feel shit.
It's not only that, is that Colin Farrell, who has been doing a masterful job, is in this episode for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like total.
Yeah, he
Maybe.
didn't. Yeah.
He is not the star of this episode, and everybody is talking
And the
about
show's
it.
the Penguin.
Yeah, and so we got the Penguin, and now we're talking about Sophia Falcone, the Hangman.
Yeah.
And it was so, because we were talking about how people were not liking it because it's too mob-like or whatever the case may be. I'm going to tell you, as somebody who absolutely thinks The Godfather is the best movie ever made, and I will say that about...
Yeah, remember, people don't realize HBO also did Sopranos.
Yeah, and yes, and that is, besides Breaking Bad and The Wire, dude, that's easily top 3. Super, 100%.
I've never seen the full season.
I think you would love it, dude.
I would, but I don't. At this point, it's too much. Just like Game of Thrones, I'm not getting into it.
Well, I would always, as crazy as it sounds, I will encourage anybody any day to watch The Sopranos over Game of Thrones.
Maybe one day when I'm really, really fucking bored and don't have anything to watch, I
There's,
will.
I'm going to tell you, there's nothing you're not going to like, dude. I
didn't say there is, but I have to get into it and I have to learn these characters. I don't know. It's just.
It's a job. I mean, when committing to a show and the emotional investment, because
what is it, like 7 seasons or
6? It's 6.
seasons? Yeah, that's a lot.
It is, but it's arguably, it really is arguably the best show ever made. And just to see the young lady, I think her name is Kristen. Oh God, I can't think of her last name, but the young lady that plays Sophia Falcone, she is doing such an incredible job as just a calm psychopath. And
she's not a psychopath, bro. She got framed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's what made her crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, so and I'm not going to give anything away, but the end of this episode this past week, was very well. It was just very masterful work, and that woman is incredible. I want to marry her.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, dude. See,
she's 39. She's a good age.
Oh, dude, she's fucking...
And 5'2". Oh,
dude, actually,
perfect.
I didn't realize she was that short. That's kind of... She's like this tall. Like
she's
literally.
Perfect.
She is awesome, dude. And that just goes to show you that how good this show is, that
I wish this was
we
working.
watched an entire episode based upon a character that nobody knows about, and we're like, holy fucking shit. Well,
that's not true.
Well, I wouldn't say knows about.
Batman fans know who Sophia Falcone is.
That's true.
Because the Falcone crime family has been a huge part of pretty much every movie that we've ever seen.
This is true. So let me take a step back.
And remember what I was saying a couple weeks ago? I think it was a couple weeks ago. I think this is DC's. This is the route that DC should be taking right now. They came out with a big fucking movie, like a name that everybody knows, Batman, right? Some people liked it, some people hated it. I liked it.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was
great.
And you, because we're also Batman fans, we might be slightly biased. However, and then fucking Catwoman, fucking Zoe Kravitz, she fucking did a phenomenal job. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy who plays Falcone, I've always loved him from. There was a movie he did with Johnny Depp, The Secret Window. I fucking love that dude in that movie because he creeped me the fuck out. And every time
at the end of my story.
Oh yeah,
bowl of corn.
You've seen the movie? Yeah. I didn't know you saw that.
I'm a huge. Actually, I'm a big Johnny Depp fan. Regardless,
bro. That was the first time I ever saw that dude as an actor. And I was like, yo, this dude is fire. Anyway, but he was in that Batman. So I think DC needs to take this route. They come out with these big characters, right? And then instead of doing the Marvel shit where they had what Marvel did was like, we're going to have individual characters' origin stories.
Yeah.
I think DC's route should be now we have the big movie, and then we have the side.
I agree with you then, and I'm going to agree with you now, dude. I think having an 8 or 10 episode series on a villain and their origin stories, I think is the exact direction they should go in.
Yep.
Because I mean, when you think of Batman, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is the Joker.
Is a fire fucking clip, right?
Yeah. The first thing you think of is the Joker, right? Which is the clown prince of crime. But then you think of Victor Freeze, and then you think of Poison Ivy, and then you think of Bane.
They have a whole a whole array of series that they can go off of.
Yeah, and then you think of God forbid, Harvey Dent, Two-Face. You think of Clayface. You think of
and then fucking pull in because they have all these great characters in DC and the Batman world. It might be a little different with Superman, but in the Batman world, bro, they have so many series they could just fucking rake in cash with.
It's crazy, but it's gonna work if they continue.
If they do that, bro, I'm telling you, that's the route that they have to take with it.
The highest rated episode in television ever
was that last episode.
Is actually second. The first highest rated episode of television, believe it or not, belongs to Bryan Cranston. And
No. They just said that Penguin one just passed it.
Ozymandias.
No, bro, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm asking.
The last episode of fucking Penguin just passed it. That's the most viewed fucking. I'll look it up. Hold
Here.
on.
So what I was referring to while Jared looks us up is that when you go to a television rating, especially in this day and age with how television is viewed and streamed, whether it's on a television platform or a streaming platform, to this day, and Jared's about to pull this up, the highest rated episode of television ever is called Ozymandias. It's the second to last episode of Breaking Bad. And I will tell you, as a fan of the show, and as somebody who will tell you it's probably the best television show ever made.
Okay, first of all, we're all wrong.
Are we? Okay, all right. Here, so Jared. So I'm telling everybody a bunch of bullshit.
I can't pull it up, but the most viewed episode of television ever was the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Jesus Christ, dude. Where the fuck were we when this happened, dude?
We were fucking not born.
It's all right. I mean, hey, it's okay. Hey, you know what? Tom Hanks was in that movie Apollo 13.
No, not the no. No. I'm talking about the actual moon landing. It was the most viewed television broadcast of all time in the United States. But I just saw. Hold on. I just saw a thing that said.
Put it this way: if it sits up there with Ozymandias, I wouldn't be upset.
It's up there.
It has to be.
It was pretty fucking high up there.
Because I'm going to tell you, I'm a hard guy to impress when it comes to TV or storytelling. But when you watch an episode of television like that, it reminds you of one, why you're a fan, one, why you enjoy just sitting down and hoping something major will happen. I mean, it was almost like it's almost like a perfect episode of television. You don't get too many of them. They come few and far between. The series is already, at least in our opinion, has been great. People that don't like it, I would like to hear their views on it. And it might be from a canon standpoint, like, oh, this didn't happen this way. But, we live in the comic book world. Anything's happened. The Marvel Universe happens. If somebody can insert themselves in this timeline, then why the fuck can't they do it here?
Well, that's the thing. But that I think that's where Marvel's fucked. They're going to keep trying to do this. They fucked themselves.
You make a good point when you say that, because they use all these time loops to salvage storytelling, but eventually you're going to run out of it.
You're going back to the well too many times. Like, I don't know how they're going to. First of all, I mean, we all know how they're going to fucking put Tony Stark make Tony Stark. Because, yes, it was in the comic books where there was one timeline where Tony Stark became Dr. Doom. I get it, but you only did it just because you wanted to fucking bring back the franchise. But guess what? We're out of it now because you wrung the rag out.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think what's gonna happen. The only thing is, I think what's gonna happen is now things are gonna switch. I think DC is gonna come back.
Yeah.
but they're gonna come back. But they're only gonna come back through television, not through film.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think that Marvel has they got their fucking run. It's over. Like we're
Well, I look at when you have lightning in a bottle, you know.
Oh yeah, keep it until as long as you can.
And they ran with it. And now, obviously, I agree with you. They are trying to salvage because obviously the MCU has had a not so great reputation.
The Jonathan Majors thing didn't help either.
No, and that's
I was excited to see Kang, man. Like,
no, dude, the guy's incredible, dude. He's a phenomenal actor. Dude.
No, that's not. It's not just that. I wanted to see that character. Like after doing research on the character, I was like, oh, this guy's. He don't have like any crazy superpowers. He's just a smart motherfucker from the future who figured out how to travel through time and just get technology to fucking fuck people up.
Yeah, and the same could be, arguably said for Batman. There's always been
Batman don't travel through time.
Well, he doesn't travel through time, but my point is that people say they're like, oh, Batman's not a superhero. He has no superpowers. He has $1 billion.
There's a lot of people. In comic books who don't have superpowers. So to those people,
and that's always my argument.
Pepui.
Pepui. That's the name of this episode. Pepui. If we can spell that somehow. But I think with watching this recent episode of The Penguin, it gives me a level of hope, not only from a comic book standpoint, but it's like, people still know how to make good TV. And we don't get this very often. We don't. And so I think it's something that we should cherish. And I'm sure we only have a handful of episodes left. And who knows if we get a second season? This might be it.
The only thing is we don't. They know how to make TV, but they're not making these series as TV shows.
Yeah,
these are many large movies. I can't say many movies because these are 8-hour movies. Well, I said it a long time ago. Like they're not making television anymore. They're making films that are just long. No, but to your credit, I think from the cinematography to the level of acting to the young man who's playing Vic with his stutter, who's like, I just think it's like, man, these guys really went out of their way to make sure that we know that Oswald Cobblepot is a menace here in Gotham City, and the people that he surrounds him with are dangerous people, and you can really feel it. Like, I never want to fuck with Sophia Falcone. Oh, hell
ever.
No.
Never.
No.
Ever. Because I don't want to wake up gassed out laying on the floor. All right? And I thought it was so... and it's so well written, too. Like, it's the little things. It's not rushed. It's just perfectly paced.
What do you mean? Unlike some other series that we've seen recently?
Nah, man, dude, don't worry. We will get back to that heyday at some point. I hope.
That's done. It's run its course.
Maybe
fucked it. I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. And I think somebody already did a YouTube video on it. I didn't, but I said it first here. I think the Acolyte has fucked Star Wars.
You might be right. Well, actually, you are right. Because the reason I say that is not that people don't have faith in the series, and I'm sure a lot of it has been lost in recent years, but especially with hardcore fans. Me and you are a little more subjective, and we like to give things a chance. Because I know when we went to see the newer movies, when we went, we were super hyped, and we initially enjoyed them, and then we kind of sat back and were like, you know what? Maybe they couldn't have done this, or maybe they couldn't have done that. But with what the Acolyte did, it gave what you've always wanted, and I think me too, is like, oh, we're going to get some Sith like lore detail, like we're going to get some cool stuff. And then it's kind of like, like throwing, like, I don't know, it's like sticking your toe into the water and like, maybe it's a little too cold kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely left a bad taste in people's mouths. I know you're a fan of the cinematography, which I think will only actually get better.
I'm a fan of the fight scenes.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Choreography. That's the word I was looking for.
Cinematography wasn't that great.
But I think that gives us a little hope in the sense of, like, if we do get something good again. Because you got to remember, we are going to be getting the third season of The Mandalorian here in a couple months, and I think that's
third season or the movie. There's a movie.
The movie's coming out, or is it the third season?
No, there's a movie.
The
Matter of fact, it's Mandalorian Grogu, I think is the name of the movie.
Which is fine with me. But I think if they can hit the nail on the head with that, that will kind of recenter the universe, if that makes sense. Because
I don't know. I'm afraid that it's going to be going back to the well too many times.
well, we're unfortunately this is where me and you have to, as fans, have to play the waiting game. Because, dude, the last thing I personally ever want to do, on top of obviously numerous other things, is to sit here and say, oh, Star Wars was on TV and I didn't like it. Like, that doesn't make me feel good as a fan, but you have to be a fan at the end of the day.
But that's what it is, though.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. But I think for something as sacred and as close to us as possible, and maybe more so to other fans, because there are some people who are complete diehards, I mean, who have sets, collect. Put it this way, when I was growing up, my next door neighbor, Dustin, wherever he is, shout out to him, his dad was a diehard Star Wars fan.
I'm sad to tell you nothing. I was going to say something, but it's like,
no.
If it's actually true, it would have been really fucked up.
No, I hope not. I hope not. But I remember going over to his house, and this was when I was like maybe 6, 7 years old, and his dad had these shelves in their living room, and he used to have AT-ATs hanging on them, AT-STs. He had snow speeders, X-Wings, just models. And, they kind of, besides my dad, really got me into Star Wars. I mean, he was an avid collector. I mean, he had the old Stormtrooper action figures, Chewbacca, Han Solo, whatever. And he would have them displayed, and he was such a huge fan of them. I mean, honestly, in this day and age, at the age I'm at now, I would love to sit down and see what he thinks because, before the prequels came out, I mean, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi are like the holy trilogy of sci-fi to a degree. And
I'm sorry, what?
that, I would think those.
No. Do not do that.
I'm just saying, at least from my standpoint.
Yeah, from your standpoint,
Yeah.
which is horribly misinformed.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Well, in sci-fi, there's a lot that's out there. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. Well, sci-fi. Here, let's put Star Wars and Star Trek to the back burner.
That Star Trek is more sci-fi than Star Wars is. Star Wars is more fantasy.
That's fair. I agree with
Okay,
that.
don't
I agree with
don't
that.
do that to.
Well, I'm not doing it intentionally.
I am a legitimate when you say you're a sci-fi fan. I am a legitimate sci-fi fan.
We get it. We all know. But no, that's not what I was insinuating. I was just saying so much for the fact that Star Wars as a brand was so sacred. I mean, it still is, but before the prequels came out, I mean, it's almost like the holy grail to a degree.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll be real with you. Star Wars is, how can I put this without hurting a lot of people's feelings? Star Wars is sci-fi light. Real sci-fi people watch real sci-fi. Read sci-fi. Like, read. There's, like I was telling you last week, there's short stories, there's novels, all kinds of shit. Star Wars is, like I said, sci-fi light. Like, if you want to drink a light beer, you go with Michelob Ultra.
I don't drink light beer because
But that's what Star Wars is. Michelob Ultra when it comes to sci-fi.
You wouldn't even put it in like a Bud Light category, like Michelob.
Bud Light, Michelob Ultra.
Michelob, okay. Star Wars is Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
All right.
Bud Light is, why would I even bring Bud Light?
I don't know. When I think light beer, I think Miller Lite, Bud Light, and then I do think of Michelob Ultra. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Now, here's the other thing. Star Trek, when it first came on, was canceled because the studio heads thought it was too cerebral for America.
Cerebral. I like this word.
So therefore, and then everybody fucking ate up fucking Star Wars because hey, not everybody's got the same brain power.
That is a kind of a wild thing, dude.
To understand. So it hit a wider audience because you got fucking wizards with laser swords in space. Who wouldn't like that?
I mean, it's pretty badass, I won't lie. I know you hate Harry Potter. I know you do. That's fine.
That shit's stupid.
No, I view Harry Potter, honestly, dude, and honestly, I got into it as a kid, but I got into it as a fan of novel and just a fan of fantasy, and it developed into the man I am now, who walks around petting his cat saying, Wingardium Leviosa. And what I will wave my wand for all of you
Turned
to do.
you into this.
Gay!
Very
I
much
got news for you. That means you're gay.
See, I got hit with 3 of them all at one time. I mean,
Motherfucker.
oh, God, there's another one. Here, let's go for a 10-pin strike.
That
Here, let's go bowling sometimes. Why not? But regardless, I think it's important that you guys should always remember to indulge in your own activities and give your own opinions, because we like to do that here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast, and which we do every week, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, in the middle of Schmarch, between March and April, a month that doesn't exist, if you've ever seen that episode of The Simpsons. But it is my indubious responsibility to make sure that you guys check us out every week here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. So thank you for listening to the 256th episode. Oh
okay,
my
God damn.
Oh, and vote for Jared Lee 2024. Oh my God, that's what I was trying to get to.
Fucking late, bro.
I know it's late. I just wanted to make sure that they know
Thank
how
you.
to vote. And
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist